So, why the well of loneliness? Before I answer that question, I just wanted to say that this is a video essay. I was planning to do like a long one at the end of recording the book, but there's so much I want to talk about and I don't want it to get too muddled. So I thought I'd break it up into a couple of smaller videos like this one. If you're not interested in video essays, that's totally fine. You can check out the newest chapters of The Well of Loneliness. The latest one should be just here. So let's get started. The Well of Loneliness is kind of like an old friend to me. It came into my life when I was 16 and first thinking about coming out. Not the first lesbian book I ever read, but the first one I ever went looking for. So before we go on with the story, I need to explain something about me. I am dyslexic. Didn't learn to read until I was 10, rarely picked up a book dyslexic. Though reading has always been a bit of a struggle for me, I love books. This love was built in me by my grandmother, who also struggles to read but always valued books. She was the person who first introduced me to Agatha Christie and Jules Verne. I was 8 when my mom gave me the greatest gift. It was this little portable radio, and it ignited in me a love for audiobooks. I remember borrowing 30 books from the library that week, and it was the first time I had ever had access to books without needing to ask anyone to help. As I got older, if I was unable to find a book, I would use text-to-speech to be able to listen to it, something I still do today. So when I was 16 and looking for an audiobook version of The Well of Loneliness, there wasn't anything out there. I had to convert one chapter at a time, and it took a long time. Though it took a long time, this book was so interesting to me, and it seemed to be talking to me. It was one of the first times I'd ever seen myself reflected in a character. And I think that's an experience from everyone's comments that a lot of people have had. A lot of people will comment, oh, I read this when I was younger and I'm revisiting it, and I think that's really great. I love that. In short, I decided to turn The Well of Loneliness into an audiobook because, well, one, it's in the public domain, so no copyright issues. Probably more importantly, it's an important book to me. And I think it's an important book for a lot of people. And when I started, there weren't any copies still. I feel The Well of Loneliness is an important part of the LGBTQ plus community, and it's a part of our history that we don't often get to see. An actual person from that time period telling their own story. And the fact that Radcliffe Hall wrote this book as a sort of protest to the idea that queer people didn't exist. They wrote this to stand up and represent their community. I think it should be brought to the community again. It's still relevant to this time, and I'm sure people still connect to it and still learn from it. I know I definitely did when I was younger. I'm glad that there are people that enjoy this book, that I can be the voice of a story that has meant so much to me growing up. And thank you to everyone who watches and comments. You keep me encouraged, and it makes this feel so worth it. The next episode in this series is going to be about Stephen's early life and her parents and her gender expression. I'm probably going to touch a little bit on Carl Ulysses and other sexologists and activists at the time as well. If you have any ideas about the subjects or any of the other things that have occurred in the first part of the book and you want them to be in the next video, just leave them in the comments below or send me an email and we'll talk about it next time. The last thing I wanted to talk about is the small change to my YouTube banner you may have noticed. It's just a clickable link to Ko-fi, which is a website where you can leave a tip if you'd like to support this channel. Feel free to, or feel free not to. I know that these times are a bit tough for everyone. Just leave a like or a comment or a subscription. All those things help. Thank you for listening again. Till next time. Bye.